Okay, here are some concepts for you. If you are suffering from poverty or busyness or hunger or old age, the amount of bandwidth that you have is limited, and there's a tax that sludge imposes on you. That means that you will be tunneling on the particular problem you're trying to solve, which might be how do I get through my day, which means that government burdens are outside the tunnel and won't be attended to. The fact that you're tunneling, if you are dealing with, let's say, a crisis, gives you a little bit of dividend. You're focusing, but it also ensures present bias. That is you're focusing on today, which means you might not attend to what you need to plan. Next. Okay, here's a little evidence in support of this. If you are put on a screen like the one you're looking at, something really, really quick. Let's suppose what you're seeing on the screen is the word laptop, or if the word you're seeing on the screen is fish. It's too fast as the experiment is designed, so you won't see laptop or fish. Or if the word is cake, you won't see the word cake. But if you're really hungry, you won't see fish or laptop, but you will see cake because you're hungry. The human mind will see words which aren't processed ordinarily if you're hungry that would alleviate hunger. If you have an economic challenge, the data suggests, and then are asked to take an intelligence test, your intelligence result goes way down. Not because you're less intelligent, but because if you were placed in a position of poverty and asked to handle an economic problem, you have not much processing power in your head because you've spent the last few minutes trying to solve an economic problem. People who are poor aren't less intelligent than people who aren't, but their ability to handle an IQ test is reduced if they're asked before they take the IQ test to handle an economic problem, which would be grueling for them. That is to say that cognitive capacity is reduced by virtue of old age, illness, busyness, poverty, and executive function too. Your capacity for self-control is reduced. That means there's a real problem of equity with sludge, where the people who are disproportionately burdened are often the people whom government most urgently needs to serve. They may be not healthy, they may be unemployed, they may be poor, they might be female. That's to say, women are often burdened disproportionately by sludge that is in the household or private, which means that government sludge can have a sex discriminatory impact. Next. Okay, here's a terrible movie. Mr. Scarcity meet Ms. Sludge, or Ms. Scarcity meet Mr. Sludge. This is a sometimes literally fatal combination, and it's typically a figuratively fatal combination. Next. Okay, here's a little evidence for this. This is just a program working with the government to try to help poor people get to a very good university in the United States, the University of Michigan. The problem is that people who have money tend to go to the University of Michigan. Poor kids don't, and that's not good. It's a public university. It's government run. It's supposed to be open to everyone. And what happened in the intervention was simply a sludge reduction. All that happened was the experimenters said to students who were high-performing students that you can go to the University of Michigan and you're going to get your tuition and fees paid for. You don't have to pay. Now, the trick, the mischief in the experiment is that what students and others were told was completely publicly available information. They didn't tell them something that wasn't already existing policy. They just were contacted, the students. Here's the result of the sludge reduction with an in-person interaction. Next. Prepare yourself, would you? This is a wow result. The students who got the sludge reduction were twice as likely to apply and more than twice as likely to attend one of the world's great universities, which means that through this really low-cost intervention, the gap in income, who gets into the University of Michigan, rich kids or poor kids, the gap between rich and poor was cut in half. That's a spectacular result, and it just happened from sludge reduction.